The government wants private schools to go away. When you are trying to make an objective decision about whether to make the change of putting your child in private school versus keeping them in public school, you need objective advice. So naturally, you want to turn to objective leaders in the area of child and adolescent education to give you that balanced viewpoint that will help you make a wise choice for your child. Private school is expensive, so you want to make sure that if you go that route, you are doing the right thing for your child, and the better education and school experience will be worth the money. Traditionally, we do look to the counselors and the leadership at the local public school to guide our educational decisions. But you might want to think twice about following the advice of people who are on the payroll of the government-supported public school about whether you should pull your child out and enroll him or her in private school for the next semester. That is because these public school employees are far from objective, and for the most part, wish that private schools and homeschooling would go away entirely. The reasons for the dislike of private schools by the administration of public schools is pretty easy to understand. The state pays each public school $7,500 for each student who completes a grade level at a public school. That means that every breathing human they can pack into their schools means more money for their budgets. The explosion of popularity in homeschooling and private schools has hurt the attendance levels at public schools significantly. So they will do all they can to discourage your decision simply because you are taking money out of their budget if your child doesn't warm a chair in their school. But the animosity toward private schools goes even deeper than just numbers and money. The truth is that even the best of public schools do a pretty mediocre job of educating the students in their care. This is a typical situation when a public service is handled by a government agency that functions as though it was a monopoly. You get that feeling from public schools that they think they are the only option you have, so you have to jump through their hoops because there are no other schools and the law stipulates you have your children in school. But there are other options that public schools pretty much pretend are not there, and those opinions are the dozens of quality private schools in your community. Almost without exception, the quality of education that students get at private schools is noticeably higher than at public schools. Students do better, are happier, and far more productive at private schools where the emphasis is on excellence and on the joy of learning, as it should be. This distinction is an embarrassment to the public school system. And the more people that know that public schools are so inferior to private schools, the faster the private school phenomenon will spread, which will only continue to drive the public school system out of existence. Furthermore, because parents of students who are exceptional either academically or in terms of special talents and gifts commonly take such students to private schools where those talents can be nurtured and developed. This takes the best and the brightest out of the public school system and leaves the rest. By learning these facts from objective sources, you can make a wise decision about whether to put your child in private school. And the chances are, if you do make that change, you will be happier with the results, and your child's years in the educational system will be so much better as well.